from Station 424 Fire Safety Message Broadcast. Today's subject is high-rise fire safety for seniors. As it is a live YouTube broadcast, please log in or sign in to YouTube if you wish to leave a comment or to ask a question. So let's get started. Today, I'm joined with my colleagues, public educator Tiziana Abate and Captain Brock Monroe. So let's get started.
Thank you, Carlo. Morning, Tiziana.
Morning, Brock. Thank you, Carlo. So I thought maybe we would talk a little bit about construction of a high-rise, because we are talking about a high-rise, right? So a high-rise, the construction of a high-rise is extremely different than the construction of a house.
True.
Let's face it. High-rise is non-combustible material, and a house is combustible material, right? So non-combustible material, high-rise is made out of concrete and steel, which is non-combustible. So your unit in your apartment building, actually has a concrete ceiling, a concrete walls, and a concrete floor. The unit next to you, same thing, concrete ceiling, wall, floor, and so on down the hallway. When you reach the stairwells, that stairwell is also made out of concrete, but it's made from the floor, the ground floor, all the way up to the top, however tall your building is. So that whole stairwell is all concrete. Same thing, ceiling, walls, and the floor at the bottom. It's all concrete. Another thing, those apartments, what we call them would be compartmentation, which is why it's all concrete. It's one compartment. The stairwell is another compartment, so that's another compartmentation that we call. Each one of these has a 2-hour fire protection rating, right? So that means it takes 2 hours from a fire to get through the wall, through the ceiling, through the floor, into your unit, right? And 2 hours, that's a long time. You are protected in your unit, right? And also, your unit has a specific door. That door has got a self-closing device on the door. It's supposed to close and latch,
Very important.
right?
Device.
It's very important, and that makes that fire wall that's on the corridor side a 2-hour fire protection rated wall, right? Because it does close and it seals. Another thing about high-rises is any high-rise, any apartment building that's over 6 stories, that's what we consider to be a high-rise, right? So those are some of the things that we look at when we're doing the construction of an apartment building. Now, the apartment building also has other safety features,
It does.
correct?
It does.
So
It does.
what are some of these safety
Well,
features?
The important thing is most apartment buildings and most high-rise will need a fire alarm system. And in that fire alarm system, there'll be devices. There'll be beeps and smokes, and there'll be horns and bells and devices that will alarm us if there is a fire. Also, switching at the end of each corridor. The switching, you can manually pull it and activate the alarms throughout the building. And when you do that, you should be calling still, out loud, fire, 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 if you have one in your unit. Other features in the building are, Tiziana's going to demonstrate, sprinkler heads.
The sprinklers.
Everything below grade has a sprinkler head. In other words, on the basement level, sub-basement level, parking garage, garbage room, garbage chute. Most of the garbage chute rooms have sprinklers. And even in some of the newer buildings, some of the doorways are sprinklered overhead. So those are some of the features we have in a building. The most important feature you have is your smoke alarm. Your smoke alarm is the device that's not hooked to the fire alarm. It's a standalone device and it's battery operated. And it needs a battery to work. And we need to test it. The manufacturer says at least once a week you should test it. Tiziana is going to test it for us and show us how it works. And we need to make sure that at least once a month we test it. We could use a pool cue, we could use a golf club, an umbrella, a broomstick, a mop handle, or a cane. I wouldn't put up a walker. Right?
No, not the walker.
So go ahead, Tiziana.
Okay, so I'll test this thing, so we're going to see if it's going to work.
Oh my God, that's loud.
Yes.
That would wake up anybody. everybody.
It's loud for
We're not
a
going to,
reason.
we're not going to be able to wake up with our dog, our cat, our budgie. This is the only thing, and it needs to be working. If it's not working, then we need to have a spare battery on hand to change it. And when does it fail and it starts chirping? It's usually at night when the air is cool. So make sure you have a working smoke alarm before you go to bed. Get that handyman on your floor to help you if you know, at night. Otherwise, go down and make a service request to the superintendent or the building manager, property manager, that you need a new or you need it fixed.
Mhm.
Looking at the side of the detector, you can usually not easily read, but you can tell how old it is. If you don't have a date on the side of your detector or smoke alarm, it's not a detector, that's a detector. This is a smoke alarm.
Yes.
It's an alarm device standalone, so you need to test it and make sure it's working. Get a service request done if it's not.
Okay,
Carry on.
so,
Where are we gonna go
so
next?
I'm gonna talk a little bit about what to do if there's a fire in your unit. Okay, so if you're in your unit and you happen to have a fire in your unit, what is it that you need to do? Well, the first thing you need to do is be prepared before a fire happens in your unit, all right?
Yes.
So you want to be prepared. So again, we're going to do a home fire escape plan, right? So I did one up here and I did a nice big one here so that you can see it.
This is actually my home.
And you want to make sure that you have drawn out on your plan where your stairwells are, okay? So this particular one, I did it as an apartment building. It was just straight across. Some apartment buildings are L-shaped. Some apartment buildings are U-shaped.
Yeah.
And they have the stairwells in different places. Do your drawing based on your apartment building itself, okay?
Is that a bird's eye view?
Yes, from the top. From on top, you're looking down. So you've got one stairwell on one side of the floor, one stairwell on the other side of the floor. You want to show where your elevator is on your plan, and you want to show where your apartment is. Because based on where your apartment is, you will know how far you are from the stairwell. Which one is closest to the apartment, right?
Very important, very important.
And the other thing you also want to make sure is that you have, once you get outside, because if you've got something in your unit, that something happens in your unit, a fire in your unit, you need to get out immediately and you need to get outside. So you're going to go down the stairwell, not up the stairwell. Contrary to what we see on TV, Toronto Fire does not have a helicopter, right? So we need to go downstairs and outside and go to a meeting spot. I've got something marked over here,
What
a
could be a
meeting
meeting,
spot.
what could be a meeting spot?
Anything that's not gonna move. You want
So a
something,
tree?
a tree
A
is,
lamppost?
a tree, a lamppost, something that's
Fire
there,
hydrant?
solid, not moving. Yep, fire
Okay.
hydrant would be good too. So that's you wanna do before something happens, so that if something happens, you are prepared. And if something happens, you evacuate immediately, you leave. Do not use that elevator, because we want you to go down those stairs, because when you get to that stairwell, you're gonna hit that pull station. And that pull
What will
station,
this do when you pull it?
it's gonna make the alarms go off all over the
Okay,
building.
what else should you say?
Okay? Now, the other thing that you also need to do is as you're going down that hallway, just knock on your neighbors' doors, call out the firefighter, let them know there's something happening so that they also have time
Good
to
point,
evacuate.
good point.
Because up until that point, nobody knows what's happening in the building,
That's right.
right? This smoke alarm that's probably ringing in your unit
It's working.
is only for you in your unit. Nobody else will know until you pull the pull station.
Or enough smoke comes into the corridor and activates the smoke.
Or smoke comes out into the hallway and the smoke detector that's in the hallway gets
Right,
activated and that will activate the alarm. And then everybody in the
hear
unit,
the
in the
bells
apartment
and-
building, yeah, the whole apartment building will know. Please send us your questions. Okay, we will answer your questions at the end of our segment.
We will.
So Brock, what happens if I have nothing happening in my apartment,
But the
but
bells are
I
ringing.
hear lots of bells ringing everywhere in the
Well,
building? What do I do?
You gotta get up, you gotta look, you gotta investigate. You look at your windows, maybe get on the phone with the property manager or the superintendent, what's going on in my building, you know? If you smell smoke, you likely think there may be a fire in your building. So, can I leave? Not likely, you wanna stay, if there's smoke and you're smelling smoke. So you can prepare by maybe taping up your door to keep the smoke from coming into your unit. Or what else could you
Do
do?
we need special tape?
No, no special tape, maybe just enough to seal the doors around the top and down the sides.
I
Could
know
be
this,
duct tape, could be masking tape, could be a colored tape, you can buy them at the dollar store, they're very inexpensive. What else could we use at the bottom of the?
well, I got here a towel. You could wet a towel and you could put the towel at the bottom of your door,
Good point.
right, to stop the smoke from coming in. If there's smoke in the hallway, it'll stop it from coming into the unit. From under the door or from around the door,
Good point.
okay?
And then we may want to, if we're in our unit and there is smoke coming in, even after we've done all this, we want to maybe retreat to our bedroom window or retreat to the balcony, get outside. And how do we notify people that we're there? We could take our bed sheet and throw it out over the balcony, tie it to the balcony. That lets firefighters know that you're in your unit, you may be okay. We can see it from outside as firefighters, and that's a good way to notify us. If it becomes so unbearable, you may want to get on your phone and call 911 and ask for help to evacuate. So the sheets are very helpful. What could we do? We could tape it, we could tie it in a knot, probably in the bedroom, you could tape it to the windowsill, you could tie it to the balcony, there's all kinds of different options.
So the whole
And we
purpose,
don't need to call 911 unless we really need 911, you know. The sheet's there, we know you're there, we're gonna come and evacuate, we're gonna try and reduce the smoke in the building with our positive ventilation fans, and we're gonna fight the fire, and then we'll come and evacuate you. You wanna take it on, Lizzie Ann?
yeah, sure thing. I've got something else I just want to mention very briefly before we go. I want to talk about emergency procedures for occupants in a building.
Good idea.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but downstairs by the, in the lobby, by the doors, when you first enter, there's a box. And that box says a fire safety plan. That is the fire safety plan for the building itself, okay? So what you want is the actual parts in that fire safety plan that is specifically for the occupants in the building.
Good point, Lizzie Ann.
Only for the occupants in the building. If you should have been given one when you first moved in, if you haven't, or if you misplaced it, go to the superintendent and ask the superintendent for your copy of the emergency procedures for occupants of that building, right?
Where could
Very-
you post these?
Very simple. Now, some of these actually have what you've got written right there. They have that right in the, in the procedures for the occupants. So if you happen to have that, you might want to post it on the inside of your door of your unit,
And what
so
are they
you can
instructing
see it,
people?
right? So if you
They're
want to,
instructing people upon discovery of a fire. They're also telling you not to use the elevator, and if you hear the alarm. So these are all the things that you could be
everything that we're
useful when
talking
you're
about.
listening to the voice communication, if there's voice in your building.
Yeah.
It will notify you twice the message, so always keep your ear open.
Exactly, so everything that we've been talking about, that's listed over there. Also, people who have mobility issues, okay? So if you have mobility issues, you want to make sure that your name gets put on the list. And this list is also put into that fire safety plan that's in that box downstairs in the lobby, right? So if your name gets put on there, because if you require assistance, the firefighters will come and they will help you to evacuate. That's the whole purpose of putting your name on that list. So basically, you're going to tell the superintendent or property manager that you have mobility issues. They might give you a form to fill in. You fill in the form and your name will get put on that list. The form will stay with the property manager or superintendent, just your name and your reason why you have mobility issues. So Brock, what if we have, somebody has a broken leg and they're wearing a cast and they're on crutches? Should they fill out? Because when you've broken your leg and you're in a cast, you're only in a cast for an extremely short period of time. Should they fill out
Absolutely,
this
I mean, you
form?
cannot go downstairs or, you know, any kind of ramp with crutches on, you probably need an elevator, and you don't wanna be using the elevator.
Exactly, we don't want you going into the elevator, it might not be working
They
properly.
need two firefighters to evacuate that person,
Yeah.
so definitely,
So they
that
should,
person's not gonna be able to evacuate by themselves,
So
or
they
sit
should-
downstairs.
so they should fill out the form, emergent, persons requiring assistance. And then what about
Where's that form
afterwards?
located, Deanna?
The superintendent, speak to the superintendent.
I
They
think they're
should
in the
have it.
fire plan, aren't they?
No, the
No.
superintendent. And what happens when the cast comes off? Should they still keep their name on that list
I
of
would-
persons requiring assistance?
I would ask to be taken off, because you could evacuate them.
Exactly, you're mobile now, and you no longer need to stay on
You're not
that
gonna
list.
need assistance.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any
Good
questions?
Actually, we
Do you
have
any
a
questions?
couple of questions that came in. I've been watching the blogs as we were going, and there was a little bit of activity. So thank you to everyone who's been participating. This is a great session which we like to do. First question which we have is from Frank. He has a father who lives in North York, and he's elderly. And he's basically coming down to the point, because he's heard about your two options, either, you know, when there's a fire inside your unit and also when to protect the place. But he just wanted a little bit more clarification. When should his father actually leave the unit? At what point should you leave your unit?
You should always evacuate when there's a fire in your unit. Get out of that unit, go to a neighbor's unit and get in there, and when you're safely in there, call 911 and ask for assistance.
So whenever you feel that you're
If your unit's on
danger,
fire, you need to get out of that
Right.
unit and shut the door behind you.
or even smoke, if there's a lot of smoke coming in, you should get out too,
Well, I would call your neighbors and say, is your unit full of smoke? Can I come over and visit you?
right? Oh, good, great point, this is awesome.
Yeah.
The next question which we have is from Mildred. She lives in Scarborough, and she's 79 years old, God bless her, and she still lives at home on her own. However, she's been having problems walking around, so she uses a walker for everywhere inside her condo. Going to the kitchen, going to watch TV, literally she can't walk more than 5 steps without using the walker. Now, she knows she can't use the elevator in the event of a fire, but how does she get, if she has a fire inside her unit, where should she go? What can she do?
I'll take that one,
Yeah.
is that all right? Okay, so simple, easy, just get outside. If you have a fire in your unit, get outside. Get out of your unit, go down the hallway again, make your way down the hallway, you're gonna knock on doors, your neighbor's doors, tell everybody there's a fire, you're gonna pull that fire station, that pull station, that red knob there, the pull station, right outside the stairwell doors.
And what's
You're
gonna happen,
gonna-
Susanna?
That's gonna set off all of the alarms in the
Bells and
building.
buzzers.
Okay, and then you're going to go into the stairwell itself. Remember the construction of the building. The stairwell is an area of refuge. It's got a 2-hour fire rated because of how it's been constructed, right? And also you're going to call 911 from the stairwell. Go on the landing, you close that stairwell door behind you, and you're gonna call 911, okay? And you're gonna tell them, there's a fire in my unit, I can't get down the stairs, I need assistance in getting down the stairs. I'm in stairwell A on the 14th floor, and please come and help. So that way, they will already know the firefighters will come up the stairs and they will come and help you.
The Toronto Fire will get there
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
quick. How quickly
How
does the
quick?
fire department generally show up, Brock?
4 to 6 minutes, you should have a
Yeah.
truck there.
Wow, that's a
So-
pretty good
As
average.
soon as the
That's a-
alarms go off, there's a communication
Oh,
to
it automatically
a
calls.
mobile system out there, and it notifies the security company notifies the fire department that the alarm is
Excellent.
going off.
Excellent.
Just keep in mind, it's not the fire that you're gonna need to you need to get away from the fire, but it's the smoke that you need to protect yourself
Right.
from.
That kills.
Okay,
That
it's
definitely
the
kills.
smoke.
Kills.
Because the construction of these buildings, you are pretty safe in your unit, but it's the smoke. You must be careful of the smoke.
Get
And
low and
protect,
go. Get
protect
out of
from
that
the
smoke.
smoke.
All right, we have one last final question, and that'll bring up our whole meeting altogether. We have Joyce, and she's from downtown Toronto, and she finds that sometimes at night, her local smoke alarm, her little smoke alarm is located inside her unit. It beeps, and then it pauses, and then it beeps again. And it's quite annoying because she's trying to get to sleep. She's not sure whether, is it a faulty smoke alarm? What would be, why would it do that?
Well, normally at night, and it always happens at night when it's cooler, the air is cooler, batteries get low, and you get this chirping sound. So what does that mean? It means your battery's about to die. So you need to have a spare battery with you. Take it down, put it in, or get the handyman on your floor to put it up for you.
Right.
And call the next morning, get a service request, and get reimbursed for your battery from the superintendent or building manager, or
Mhm.
get it in, get it working.
Exactly. One thing I do want to point out is that these smoke alarms, these are in your unit.
They're
You
standard.
are responsible for making sure that they're working properly, which is why we always say test them every month.
So
If
what could they use,
something-
Susanna? Could they use a golf club?
They could use
Pool
what-
cue?
Yep, anything,
umbrella,
an umbrella,
mop
they could
handle,
use a
broom.
broom handle. So anytime there's something wrong with these smoke alarms, you are responsible to tell the superintendent
Right.
and to tell the building manager, there's something wrong with them, the superintendent, building manager is responsible to repair them. So you do not want to paint over it, it's not gonna fit in your decor or design.
Should you
right?
vacuum it once a year,
You
Susanna?
vacuum it very carefully with the vacuum cleaner, the brush
Okay.
part of the vacuum cleaner, and you do not want to cover it with anything, you do not want to take the battery out, right? These is your first alert to anything, any fire or smoke in your unit. This is what's going to save your life.
It's your second line of defense, detection.
Excellent,
Excellent,
excellent.
yeah.
So this has
So-
been great.
Yes, exactly. So, and if you have any more information that you're looking for on fire safety, please visit our website, toronto.ca/fire.
Good point.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it.